For generations, African-American parents have been warning their children about the potential dangers of being black in America.
And with Black History Month starting tomorrow, this week's Voices for Change takes a look at what one local professor calls a grim rite of passage. Here's Maury Glover with how recent events have prompted many parents to have a difficult conversation with their children.
Confidence, knowing who you are, walking and living in that truth of who you are.
Like most parents, Tim Williams says it's his job to prepare his kids for life in the real world.
TJ, play your cards and we can move on.
But as an African-American father, he says it's also important to lay all his cards on the table when it comes to teaching them how to handle encounters with police.
I think for me, it's part of raising my kids. It goes right along with don't drink and drive.
So far, Williams says his 6-year-old TJ has mostly seen police in a positive light.
Here in Champlin, where we live, it's one of those, we've been riding bikes and a police officer's pulled him over once, right? Put his lights on even, pulled him over to give him a sticker to say, congratulations, you're wearing your helmet, right? Like the interactions have been positive.
But as he gets older, Williams says he'll have to explain to his son that some interactions with law enforcement could be far more dangerous.
I think in a blink of an eye, it can all go wrong. It's been proven time and time again. I've seen it happen. We've all seen it happen, right? Something that's routine as a traffic stop or, just anything can go wrong. So I think it's very important that I prepare you for this just as much as I prepare you for don't talk to strangers.
Put your hands up right now. Let me see your other hand.
The death of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police prompted many black parents to have the talk with their children, particularly but not exclusively with their sons. But this talk isn't about the birds and bees, it's about how to act if they have a run-in with police.
The talk is this grim rite of passage that African Americans in particular, but most people of color understand, given the history of the violent encounters between the police and African Americans.
Dr. Yahuru Williams is a distinguished chair and professor of history at the University of St. Thomas. He says the talk goes back to the murder of Emmett Till, a 14-year-old African American boy who was lynched after being accused of whistling at a white woman in her family's grocery store in Mississippi in 1955. The woman's husband and his half-brother were acquitted in Till's murder, but tens of thousands of people viewed his badly beaten body in an open casket, prompting his death to become a rallying cry for the civil rights movement.
And the idea is that the normal routine circumstances that other people take for granted often can turn into deadly encounters for African Americans. And so this idea that you want your child to come home at the end of the day, but it's recognizing that the routine is not routine when you have dark skin.
Dr. Williams says the talk is usually given by a parent, older sibling, or trusted elder to a young person of color about how to behave with police. It often includes instructions like keep their hands in plain view, say yes sir or yes ma'am, and don't talk back or make any sudden movements that could cause the officer to escalate the situation so they survive their brush with the law.
I had a gentleman say to me, a white gentleman say to me after this, why I don't understand what's so special about the talk. I've had the same conversation with my child about how they should behave, and they should of course be respectful to police. I said the difference is the body count. The difference is the video. Your child doesn't face the same danger.
Podcaster and radio talk show host Shaletta Brundage says she's been having the talk with her kids since they were 3 years old.
You remember when Mommy talked to you about police? What does Mommy say to remember? Police are not
our friends.
Police are not your friends.
She says when she brought up the subject again after Floyd's death, it took hours to talk the oldest of her 3 boys out of a tree he had climbed because he thought it was the only place he would be safe from police.
We don't want anything to happen with our boys. We don't want them to be under the assumption that they have the same rights as their white friends and classmates. No, you cannot talk back to police. No, you cannot demand a badge number. No, you cannot plead your case. Those opportunities are not afforded to you based on the color of your skin, based on the country that you live in.
Williams says having the talk with his kids is a life lesson they have to learn, because that is the hand they've all been dealt.
I'm okay with having the conversation because it makes me feel better. That I feel like I said it, I told you. We've talked about it. We've explained why. I want to be the person and be able to control as much as I can control for my children, to put them in the best position possible.
For Voices for Change, Maury Glover, Fox 9 News.